Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host Newman, and today we're going to be unboxing the Gameverse Juggernaut and Gargantos, as well as the X-Men 97 Logan from the previous video that I did. All three figures came from BigBadToyStore.com. They're a great online company. You should give them their business. As you can tell from the multiple unboxings, they came in separate shipments because they arrived at different times in most cases. I decided not to get these from Hasbro because initially I wasn't going to do an unboxing video for it. I was going to keep these in the box, but the more pictures that I saw of these figures, the more I just really wanted to unbox them. So here is yet another Gameverse and X-Men 97 YouTube unboxing. So we're gonna go ahead and start off with everyone's favorite redheaded stepbrother, Cain Marko the Juggernaut. The packaging is pretty nifty. It's nothing to scream home about, but it gets the job done. It looks pretty good. Love the Versus graphic on the back. Mine came in with no nicks, scrapes, or dings, so good job on Big Bad Toy Store's part. There is quite a bit of heft in this package, so I'm really excited to get this thing opened up and give old Juggernaut a jugger look. And look at the size of this behemoth. This looks really, really good. I do wish we had a separate Cain Marko head, but I think I'm being a little greedy. Okay, and here we have him out of the package, and he is a beefy, beefy boy. It's like holding an action figure when you're 5 years old. This is this is quite amazing. Oh yeah, he's got some weight to him. All right, so head is on a ball joint. It does go all the way around, but it kind of pops off if you do it. So okay, so it's on a ball joint, and there's a hinge on there as well. Let's get that back on there. So arms go up to about yay high, and there's actually butterfly joints in here too. They do kind of make the pecs look a little bit weird, a little too small, but only if you look at them for too long. There are single joints in the elbows, which are pretty good. We've got a twist and a hinge on the wrists, which are nice. We've got a ball jointed ab crunch, which is really good. I mean, it's good. It's not really, really good, but it's pretty good for a character this size. We've got a twist up at the upper thigh. I really like the sculpt on this. I prefer it to the straight line twists. They've actually had the muscle sculpted into the articulation. Same with the quote-unquote boot cut as well. Pretty good articulation in the ankles, and we've got articulation in the toesies. So overall, I think the articulation is really good, but more importantly, I think the way that they hide the articulation is even better. They really went out of their way to preserve the integrity of this character design. Good job. Next up, we're going to take a look at not Shumagorath, Gargantos. So the package is very similar to the Juggernaut packaging, just without a window box. It also has the Versus video screen, much like the Juggernaut figure, and it actually comes with a little accessory, which I did not realize. I typically like to go in pretty blind for these unboxings, so I don't know the details of the figures, and this was a detail I was not aware of. And it looks like we're going to have a little bit of assembly required for this. But let's go ahead and take a look at the main body of this figure, the eye. This looks pretty incredible. There's not a lot of heft to this, so it is pretty light and pretty hollow as well. But the engineering on this is pretty nice. This is kind of a lot of fun to play with. I kind of wish I was a customizer because there's a lot of things you could do with this figure. The least of which is use it for cosplay as a Starro-possessed person. And here we have the little guy. I think this might actually be just like part of a Gargantos Shumagorath attack from the Capcom game. I don't know. I don't read a lot of Doctor Strange comics, so I'm not super familiar with that universe. All right, so here we got one of the tentacles, and yeah, it feels like more than just a wire in here. It feels like there's actual like joints in here. I might be wrong, but it feels like there is. Yeah, looks good. All right, so let's go ahead and get the rest of these tentacles out and get this toy put together. All right, now we got Shumagorath put together. All right, look at this bad boy. All right, this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. It's probably going to take me a little bit of time to get used to moving these tentacles in the right direction that I need for posing, but I mean, yeah, they move around pretty good. I love the eyeball on this thing. Yeah, this is nice. This is really good. I think I like Juggernaut a little bit better though. Next up, we're gonna do Logan. Not gonna really look at the package too much. If you want to look at the package, that's gonna be in the X-Men 97 Wave 3 video that I just had. So we're going directly to the unboxing. And overall, this figure looks pretty good. I mean, there's not pinless joints. There are pins in the jeans, and these claws they're kind of a mess, to be perfectly honest. But we'll go over that more in a little bit. Let's go over the articulation. So head is on a ball joint and looks like a hinge as well. Yep. Range of movement's pretty good. It's pretty decent. Yeah, it's okay. I F's with it. So arms go up to about yay high. It's a little loose on that one, though. We've got cuts in the upper bicep, which are pretty decent. We've got double joints in the elbows. They're a little bit stuck, so just got to put a little bit... Nope, I knocked one of the claws out. Goodness gracious me. Well, luckily it should just pop right in there. Maybe I'll super glue it, and maybe I won't. I don't know. Depends on how I feel. The other elbow's a lot better. Looks like we've got the updated ab crunch in here with the ball joint, which is kind of shocking to me. There's a twist at the waist, legs go up to about yay high. We've got a cut at the upper thigh, so there's the thigh cuts, which is fine. We've got double joints in the knees. Again, they're not pinless, there are pins in here. There doesn't seem to be a boot cut on this figure, and we've got articulation in the ankles. It's okay, it's not perfect. So overall, the articulation is, I don't know, it's probably like average, above average for a Marvel Legends. It generally gets a little bit better once you play with it more, or it gets too loose and it starts to fall over. You know, 50-50. Let's check out the accessories. So we've got an extra pair of hands for a juggernaut, some open hands and a gripping hand. Man, these are some chunky fingers. They look like mine. Next up, we've got a blast effect, or rather a punching effect, I guess I should say. It's a clear orange-yellow plastic. Yeah, it looks alright, looks pretty decent. Moving on to the accessories for Logan, we've got an extra pair of hands, a fist, and a kind of like a gripping hand. Alright, they look fine. And lastly, we have a deck of cards. I already said in the last video that I wasn't really big on this accessory for Logan. I don't know, it seems, yeah, because look, it doesn't even really hold in the hand very well. I'm sure you could get it there and it could stay, but yeah, not for me. Now, in order to put the special effect on Juggernaut's hands, these knuckle bracelets are actually detachable. So once you take these off, you can actually use the orange-yellow special effect right here. There are two pegs on either side, and just put them right in here. It's a very tight fit, so be careful, because this is a hard plastic versus a slightly softer plastic. But look at that, looks really good, and it articulates, sorta. Another thing worth noting on this Juggernaut figure is that his wrist gauntlets are actually detachable, so they're separate pieces. The same goes for the bands on his biceps as well. So I guess they can use these pieces for another figure, if they haven't already. I'm sure they have. So before we go ahead and rank these three figures, let's go ahead and do just a few comparisons. Here's a few with Logan, a couple with Mr. Juggernaut, and lastly, Mr. Shumagorath, aka Gargantos. Okay, so let's go ahead and rate these some bitches. So coming in at number 3 is gonna be the Logan figure. It's rated last, but that doesn't mean I think it's bad. I actually like this figure quite a bit. I'm a big old Wolverine fan. I'm more of an old school Wolverine fan, the type where he gets beat up a lot. And he doesn't stay down. He's kind of a Rocky-esque figure. I'm not a big fan of the, Wolverine can't die portrayal that he's been having for the past decade or so. But I'm getting off track. So overall, I really like this figure. I think the face sculpt is really good. I really like it quite a bit. The overall look for the character is very X-Men 97 accurate, despite the belt. The belt's a little more intricate, but I'm not gonna hate on that. I like the jacket design. I like the flannel underneath. In my last video, I said that they always cheaped out on these X-Men figures as far as the ab crunch. But lo and behold, they have the updated ab crunch for this figure, so I guess maybe they just regulated for their premium characters, aka Wolverine. Those claws are giving me hell, though. I'm not a big fan of the claws. It's always like a struggle with these Marvel Legends Wolverines with the claws, unfortunately. And I'm not a big fan of the pins in the jeans, but that's not a huge deal. And although I like the design of his black cowboy boots, they make it a little harder for him to stand. Coming in at number 2 is Gargantos. This figure's great. I really don't have too many complaints about it. I think the design of it looks really good. I love the articulation in the eye and the tentacles. I think it's really good. I like the little accessory that he comes with. I don't know what I'll do with it, but I like it. If I had to have a gripe, if I had to like completely manufacture one, I would say I kind of wish there were probably maybe a couple of different shades of green. I know there's a wash on here. There's a darker brownish green wash on the figure, but maybe like having green, a completely separate color, like maybe a lighter green on the underbelly of the tentacle, or something like that. But again, this is just me nitpicking. And finally, coming in number 1 is the Juggernaut. This figure is amazing. I really like it. The sculpt is amazing. Paint application is really good. There's even little details on his veins in his deltoids, which is crazy. The face sculpt behind the mask is really good as well. And I love how they hide the articulation within the muscle structure. Also, for such a big figure, the balance on this guy is really good as well. The joints are nice and tight. I mean, man, just bravo. If I had to nitpick, again, it would just be the lack of a regular Kane Marco head. So you know what? I think that's gonna wrap it up. Honestly, I think all of these toys are, I like them quite a bit, to varying degrees. So please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, hit the bell for notifications, and I will check you later.